Hey guys, it's your boy back again, and we're gonna do a breakdown of Seattle. They're surprisingly coming in at number 3, and you may be wondering how they're that far back behind both the Rams and 49ers, but I mean, they lost a lot of people this year. Cam Chancellor's fate is undecided. They lost some people, we'll get into that, but taking a look at the quarterback position, they obviously have an elite quarterback in Russell Wilson. He should be there your whole rebuild. Definitely one of the best quarterbacks in NFL in Madden. So you're not going to have to worry about your quarterback position, but your identity is going to have to change. You can no longer be that run-heavy team with Seattle. They just don't have the offensive line for it, so you're going to have to start throwing it more, and Russell Wilson has good accuracy ratings, so you should be able to do that if you can get some talent around him. All right, let's move on to the next position. Now taking a look at their running backs here, it's always fun. You know, Seattle always has a lot of running backs. There's not a clear-cut starter here, so it's going to be kind of fun. Like, you're going to have to try to find the starter yourself. They went out to draft Rashad Penny, who I really like. I would start him personally myself, but you have Chris Carson coming off an injury who looked phenomenal last year before he got injured when they started him. You got C.J. Prosise, J.D. McKessick. I mean, got a lot of people to choose from. Keep in mind, though, Rashad Penny is a rookie, so if you maybe could possibly win Offensive Rookie of the Year with him, you might get some XP or an extra upgrade, so keep that in mind, too. But really, I would say it's between Chris Carson and Rashad Penny, but I personally would do Rashad Penny, but I like what they got going there. But the running backs still aren't elite yet. Like, they don't have elite ratings, but you should be able to get a running back up there with the skill level if you keep on playing with them, because their running backs are pretty young, so keep that in mind too. Alright, now taking a look at the wide receiving core and tight ends for Seattle. They obviously have Doug Baldwin, who is on the edge of being elite. I would say he's like real close to being elite. He's a reliable receiver. He's got some decent speed for you, so he's going to be nice to have. Then you have Tyler Lockett, who has amazing speed, has some injury concerns, so a little concerned about that injury rating. He gets injured a lot. I mean, he would definitely be good for kick returns and stuff, but for your number 2 receiver, he's going to be a monster if he stays healthy. Then they went out to go get Brandon Marshall, who I personally would play him at number 2 and move Tyler Lockett to the slot, but that wouldn't leave a lot of speed, so I'm not too sure where Marshall's going to play for you. But then we move to tight ends. I mean, they have Ed Dixon as their number 1 tight end, which, coming from Carolina, I mean, I don't really like Ed Dixon. He's not, to me, a number 1 option in my opinion for the tight end. So keep in mind, you may have to upgrade your receiving corps as well, your wide receiving core, and maybe your tight end. Probably try to get a backup for Tyler Lockett just in case he does get injured too. Alright, taking a look at the offensive line now for Seattle. I mean, they went out and got Dwayne Brown last year, but he doesn't really have good ratings, to be honest. Like, he's up there in age, so he's not going to develop much, so you're probably going to need a left tackle, which, I mean, yeah, that's going to be tough because your offensive line already isn't good. Your center's alright, but your guards and your right tackle is not good. Your left tackle is really only an 81 overall. That's probably average, maybe a little above. Doesn't have a rating that's going to blow your hair back. So Seattle is actually going to be a fun rebuild. I mean, it's going to be tough though, because their offensive line needs repaired drastically. It's needed repaired for a while, so you're going to have to try and repair it, especially in the division with the Rams, and they got those kind of pass rushers coming at you. You don't want to get Russell Wilson injured, so definitely look to repair that O-line. Not too good. Look through the draft, free agency. Maybe you can get a good trade, but the line should definitely be a big option to upgrade for you. Your number 1 concern, because you kind of want to get that passing game going to Seattle, so try to get some pass blockers there for Russell Wilson to shine. Alright, looking at their defensive line, I mean, they lost a lot. They lost Michael Bennett. They lost Sheldon Richardson. Their starting left end is Frank Clark. Then they have, I mean, the right end is not too good with a 79 overall. Jaron Reed's going to be okay for your defensive tackle position, but you're really going to have to rebuild that defense again if you want to be one of the best defenses again, because that 4-3 defense isn't going to get much pressure. especially when you look at like what teams are doing, like Jacksonville and Minnesota with their 4-3 plus Philadelphia. I mean, they're in one of the lower halves in the league for pass rushers, I would say. You're definitely going to want to get that pass rush group up. That should be an area of concern as well. Get some nice pass rushers for your ends, and just try to upgrade that defensive line as much as you can, because it's going to be rough to get pressure on the quarterback with the current regime there on that defensive line. Alright, now taking a look at their left outside linebacking. I mean, they have Bertavius Mingo. He's not too good, so this would be my opinion to you guys. They have KJ Wright at right outside linebacker and Shaquem Griffin, who's a monster with terrifying speed at that position. So my advice would be to move Shaquem Griffin to left outside linebacker, since it's not going to matter much because you're running a 4-3, so it's really not going to matter him switching positions. So keep KJ Wright at right outside linebacker and move Shaquem Griffin to left outside linebacker, and then you'll have a nasty linebacking core, especially since you have one of the best, Bobby Wagner. He's up there with Luke Kuechly. I still give Luke Kuechly the edge for number 1 linebacker, but Bobby Wagner is definitely number 2. One of the best linebackers in the NFL. With Shaquem Griffin on the field, you'll have one of the fastest linebacking groups in the NFL as well, KJ Wright. So a positive I would say is they have a real good linebacking core in Seattle. Now, especially if you can upgrade Shaquem Griffin a little bit, I mean, watch out. That linebacking core is scary. Alright, looking at the cornerback group, it's definitely going to need upgraded. Your number 1 corner is Shaquille Griffin. I mean, he's good, but I mean, he's an 80 overall. He'll probably be able to develop into your starting number 1 cornerback, but your second and third cornerback's just not going to be cut it. You're going to have to upgrade it there as well. And Shaquille Griffin might not even, upgrade that well, so keep that in mind. Cornerback group, I mean, used to be real good for Seattle. They lost Richard Sherman to San Fran, so you're going to have to revamp that cornerback group there in Seattle and see what happens, but definitely that's going to be a position of concern as well. Now taking a look at the safety group, you obviously have Earl Thomas, but nobody really knows what's going to happen there. If Seattle's going to pay him, they might trade him to Seattle. So you really don't, I'm unsure of if Earl Thomas is going to be in Seattle. I'm going to say that he is, so that should be good for you. Free safety position should be covered, but Cam Chancellor's retired, so I don't know how they're going to handle that, if they're still going to leave him in Seattle, but I would guess they're probably going to take him out. So you're going to have to look for a strong safety. You might not even have the free safety position. They could possibly trade away Earl Thomas before the season, so we'll see what happens there. So altogether, I'm going to say a negative at the safety position just because it's unsure of what's happening. Cam Chancellor says he's not coming back. He's retired. Earl Thomas wants to be traded or paid. So we'll see what happens there. So altogether, Seattle's going to be a tough rebuild. It's actually going to be kind of fun because you have Russell Wilson, but you have really a lot of pieces you need to upgrade. Pass rush, cornerback, offensive line, a little bit of your receiving core. I mean, a lot of stuff needs upgraded there in Seattle, so definitely going to be a fun rebuild. I hope you guys are enjoying this series. If you are, please hit that sub button for me, and I will appreciate it. And I'll see you guys next episode. Peace.